Assalamu alaikum. Army Public School and College, Khanewal. Class is second year and the subject is biology here. It's chapter number 16, Sport and Locomotion, and our topic is muscles disorder. We have discussed about the muscles, their function, with their examples. Now we are going to discuss about the muscles disorder. When muscles become unable to perform their activities or perform their functions, it is known as the muscles disorder. So here are few muscle disorder that we are going to discuss about. First of all, we will see muscles fatigue. What is muscles fatigue? What comes to your mind when you read this term, the muscles fatigue? When muscles fatigue happened, when the muscles lose the ability to contract, the physiological state of muscles is called the muscles fatigue. When it happens, when the muscles lose the ability to contract. And what is the functioning of the muscles? That they are constantly contracting in your body. And when they are unable to contract, it is known as a muscles fatigue. What else can it be? It is a state of physiological inability to contract. It's because of relative defect of ATP. That ATP is not in sufficient amount. It's mean that it is not helping muscles to work properly. When there is no ATP, it's mean state of continuous contraction. So cross bridges are unable to detach. Hence the cross bridges doesn't work properly, as it is a part of your sliding filament model, which are helping you to move. Hence when no ATP will be there, it will not perform its function. Excess accumulation of lactic acid, ionic balance cause muscles fatigue. What else can be the causes of muscles fatigue? Excess accumulation of lactic acid and ionic imbalance. These two things can cause the muscles fatigue. Next to it is the decreased muscles pH. It also, the lactic acid also causes muscles pH decreases, extreme fatigue by breaking glucose. And when the glucose molecules break down, it produces the extreme level fatigue in your body. So it was all about the muscles fatigue. Next to them is the tetany. It is another muscle disorder. What it is actually a continuous state of muscles contraction. Tetany is the disease which is caused by low blood calcium level in the blood to insufficient parathyroid hormone. And when the blood calcium level is low, it is being done by this hormone, that is the parathyroid hormone, which causes the low blood calcium level in your body. As you know, if you remember about the cross bridges, the calcium ions were coming and they were helping for the movement of the muscles, thin and thick filaments to slide over each other. It also increases excitability of neurons and result loss of sensation. What happened in it? Neurons perform actively excitability and result loss of sensation. What is the meaning of sensation? Do you know about the sensation? Sensation, to sense something, to receive something is known as a, accept something is known as a sensation. If untreated, if this tetany disease, which is a continuous state of muscles contraction, it is untreated, the system progresses spasm of larynx. It can lead to the larynx. Respiratory paralysis can also be occurred. Ultimately, it can cause the death because of this tetany, in which continuous state of muscles contraction take place. Next to it is a cramp, muscles cramp. What happened in it? It is also known as tetanic contraction of the entire muscles. And it lasts for just a few seconds to several hours. It is caused by muscles to become taut and painful. The muscles become very tough and painful. Common in thigh and hip muscles. Basically, this cramp can cause problem in these areas, in thigh and in hip muscles. It occurs usually at night when you can feel the cramps in your body at night or after exercise. Your muscles get stiff, you can feel this condition in your body. It reflects this disease. The cramp reflects low blood sugar level in your body, electrolyte depletion. It's depletion, okay? The ions depletion. Next to it is the dehydration in the body. It reflects. In the condition of cramp, such things can be happen with your body. It was all about the muscles disorder. One condition is also given there, the tetanus. The tetanus is also one muscles disorder in which the causing agent is the Clostridium tetani. It's a bacteria. Due to severe convulsion, the patient dies due to the lack of oxygen, and in tetanus, the patient face the problem of less oxygen in the body, and it can cause the death. Here are chapters and sports and locomotion. It was the last topic. Any confusion here?
No, ma'am.
Okay. New share. I just need to stop here first. Our today's next topic is from chapter 17, nervous coordination, and the topic is nervous coordination and neuron. Okay, let's start with the nervous system in your body. Yes, anyone of you familiar with this nervous system? What do you know about the nervous system? Nobody knows anything about the nervous system? Give active response in the class.
Ma'am, coordination through the electric signals to the whole body.
Okay, when the term comes, the nervous coordination, it means the organization, regulation, and control in the composition and function of the complex multicellular animals is called coordination. And as you know that the whole process of coordination in your body is being controlled by your nervous system. So it is called the nervous coordination. So let's see the parts of your nervous system and what is neurology and neurons, how they are a part of the nervous coordination. So let's see the nervous system. What is the nervous system? The system of the body, the nervous system, it is the system of the body that provides coordination through electric signals among different body parts during the response to a particular stimulus is called nervous system. Is it so? The electric signals comes to your brain reads the message and then perform the certain activity. So it's all done by this nervous system. And what is neurology? The study of the structure of nervous system is called the neurology. And what are neurons? Yes, these are the basic unit of your nervous system. These are the cells that send message towards the brain or send nerve impulse towards the brain. These three terms are clear to you: nervous system, neurology, and neurons. Next are the steps for
Yes.
nervous coordination. Steps for nervous coordination. Here are three steps: receptors, analysis of information, and effectors. So let's start from here, the receptors. Yes, receptors or transducers are parts of body that receive stimuli called the receptors or transducers. Now, you must know about the stimuli. What is stimuli? Any detectable change from the environment is known as a stimulus. And receptors are the organs that are responsible to feel this stimuli or to detect this stimuli. We have classified the receptors on the basis of their functioning in your body. So you are having these different types of receptors. The first one is the photoreceptor. Photo means that it can respond to light. Photo means light. So response to stimuli of light is known as the photoreceptors. Next is the chemoreceptors. Okay, can you have an example for these photoreceptors, response to stimuli of light? In your body, which organ is responsible to detect light? Of course, your eye. Your eye can see the bright and low intensity of light. And for this purpose, in your eye, the rod and cone cells are responsible. Is it so? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Next are the chemoreceptors. Chemicals detect ions or molecules in chemoreceptors. These chemoreceptors are for smell, taste, blood, carbon dioxide and oxygen, glucose, amino acids, and fatty acids. Receptors in the hypothalamus. So these can be included in these chemoreceptors, right? And one thing more, the osmoreceptor is also becomes in the chemoreceptor. And what are the osmoreceptor which are responsible for what? Osmolarity of blood. So osmoreceptors that detect the osmolarity of the bloods are also comes in the chemoreceptors. So these are certain chemicals that are being detected here. Next to it is the mechanoreceptor, the third type of receptor. Yes, it detects changes in pressure, mechanical changes like pressure, position, or acceleration. It includes receptor for touch. Yeah, yes, you can. The receptor for touch can be felt through the pressure, position, or acceleration. Messenger corpuscles in the skin. These are the cells that can feel the pressure, stretch, or pressure. Pacinian corpuscles in the skin. The touch receptors are the Messinian corpuscles in the skin are responsible to detect touch stimuli. Stretch or pressure stimuli can be detected by Pacinian corpuscles in the skin and baroreceptors in the walls of the blood cells. Yes, in your first year you have discussed about the baroreceptors that bear the pressure on the walls of the blood vessels. And that is being created by the blood cells. So this was all about the mechanoreceptor that detect changes in pressure, position, or acceleration. Next to them is the thermoreceptors. Thermo means heat and receptors, those parts who can accept heat. Show response to cold and warmth are known as the thermoreceptors. Yes, what can be the chemoreceptor in your skin? The hate-bearing cells in your body. Next are the nociceptors, respond to damage to body tissues leading to pain perception. So these are the receptors that respond to damaged body tissues leading to the pain perceptions. So here our receptors classification ended, and the second step involved in the nervous coordination is analyzing of information. For this purpose, you know that when receptors accept any stimuli and send that stimulus information towards the brain, then the second step is analyzing of information. For this purpose, your central nervous system work out that interpret the message. It can be done by two ways. The sensory inputs, like the receptors send the sensory input towards the brain. Fine. And next thing is analyzing of information is being done by intermediate neurons are also there that read the message that has been received by these sensory inputs. Two parts are here, sensory inputs and intermediate neurons. The third step is effectors. What can be the effector? As the intermediate neurons perform their work, they have read the message, they have interpreted the message. Now they will respond to the effectors. The parts of body which an appropriate response, which gives an appropriate response, are called the effectors, like movement, muscles. Movement is done by your muscles, and secretion for your chemical coordination, it is done by your glands. So these both are the effectors that give response. If you want to walk, if you see something is, yes, the dog is running behind you, you will run away, right? So when you see the dog is running behind you, you will start running. This effector's response is being done by your muscles. And in your body, if some secretions are in less amount, it is controlled by the hormones. The glands secretes the hormones which stable the conditions. So it is also effector which is giving response here. It was all about the steps involved in the nervous coordination. Now let's come towards the structure of the neuron. What are the neurons? You can say the key structural and functional unit of the nervous system is called the neurons. So this is the key structural and functional unit of the nervous system. For this purpose, for neuron, basic unit, let's see neuroglia. Neuroglia are the cells that play a vital role in nutrition of neurons. These are the neurons, basic unit. For them, there are neuroglial cells which give nutrition to our neurons and which also protect our neurons. These are present in higher animals, including humans. The neuroglials are present in higher animals. And you can say that the neuroglia make half of our nervous system. So next see the types of the neurons. We will see the structure of the neuron here, parts of neuron with function. You can see the one structure of neuron, one cell is given here. It's the cell body part, and from here till end it is the axon part. So let's see the cell bodies parts and axons parts here. The cell body, you can see here, this is the cell body part. This is whole, fine. Or neuron cell body, or it's also called the cytone. It's also known as the cytone. The neuron has a cell body or soma containing nucleus. You can see here the cell body is having one nucleus and nucleus. Various organelles embedded in the cytoplasm. The cell body is neuron cell body contains a mass of granular cytoplasm, organized keep cell function, cell body. Here you can see the nucleus. Beside of this, here are the cytoplasm. Cell membrane is also present here. Golgi apparatus, mitochondria, and other organelles are also present here in the cytoplasm. Beside this, it is also has the measles bodies and neurofibrils. Nasal granules are present in cell body and absent in axon. So here are some organelles, the nasal bodies, which are present in the cytoplasm, but in axon region they are not present. And what is the nasal bodies? Yes, the ribosomes associated with rough endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus. And it also helps the nasal granules for the process of the protein synthesis in the cell body. So the first thing is the cell body that is having the nucleus. Beside it is also having some cell organelles, the mitochondria, the Golgi apparatus, and it also has some nasal granules in it, or nasal bodies, or neurofibrils. The nasal granules, what they are? Group of ribosomes. So you can say ribosomes, other name is nasal bodies here, or nasal granules. Fine. And wherever the term ribosomes come, what it's mean? It is responsible to produce. It is responsible to give site for the production of protein. A mature neuron cannot divide further. Next to it is the, what is the next part? The fiber, the dendrites or the axon. You can see here, this is the dendrite parts here. You can see from the cell membrane, these dendrites are originating. They receive signals from other cells. As you know, many cells are packed together. Next to it, there will be another neuron. Hence, the dendrites receives signal from other cells. Okay. Next is it is the axon part. So here the all parts are clear. The dendrites clear, the cell body is clear, the cell membrane clear, the nucleus clear, and the other thing that were present here was the cell organelles in the cytoplasm. That were the Golgi apparatus, mitochondria, ribosomes known as the nasal granules. We have all discussed here. Right? This portion is cleared. Now come towards the next part, that is the axons part. What it works? Axons. Like it transfers signals to other cells and organs, or you can say process conducting impulses away from the cell body. Like from here, whatever the informations are produced, they will be sent away from the cell body through these axons. The axon is comparatively a long, thick nerve fiber which has a constant diameter. This can vary in size from a few millimeters to more than a meter length. It is maybe branched or unbranched. Yes, axons can be the branched or unbranched. The cytoplasm of the axons, yes, in this area, the cytoplasm of axons is called the, or it can be exoplasm, and their cell membrane is known as the exolemma. So the inner cytoplasm of axon is known as the exoplasm, and its membrane is known as the, where is the membrane? This is the outer membrane, it is known as the exolemma. What is the function? Axons conduct action potential from neuron cell body to even this I have already discussed that from here the message sent away towards the axons. So it's means that axon conduct action potential from the neuron cell body to the presynaptic terminal end. This is the presynaptic terminal end. Now let's see the other parts of the axons. Here you have seen the cytoplasm and the outer membrane, the cell membrane of axons. Next, then you can see here other parts. Myelin sheath and Schwann cells, you can see here. Where is the myelin sheath? You can see this is the outermost sheath present here. And next are the Schwann cells, which are present on the axons. You can see these Schwann cells here, which are covered by this myelin sheath. So basically you can say that these are the Schwann cells which produce the myelin sheath. Yes, here the outermost myelin sheath increases the speed of the signal. What signals? The action potential that is coming from this part towards the axons. Its speed is increased by this myelin sheath. Next to them you can see this yellow part that is without the myelin sheath. What is that part? This is the nodes of Ranvier. These are the nodes which are without this myelin sheath are known as the nodes of Ranvier. Allow diffusion of ions and they help to run the nerve impulse. What happened that the action potential or nerve impulse or the message that is coming from the cell body towards the axon, it jumps from here to here, from nodes to nodes, right? And this is also known as the saltatory movement of the nerve impulse, or you can say saltatory impulse. Hopefully these all points are clear to you now. Say yes if it
Yes,
is, or
ma'am.
if it,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, please.
Yes, ma'am, clear है.
Clear? The cell body's
Yes.
parts and the axon parts. All are cleared? Should I
Yes.
move ahead?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Next are the types of neurons. Here are the three types of neurons: sensory neurons, motor neurons, and interneurons. You are well known about these types. Sensory neurons are those neurons which accept the message. And these neurons send message towards the brain. There are motor neurons which help them. Yes. What are the motor neurons and interneurons? Do you know about it? Sensory neurons, the second name is afferent neurons. These carry impulses from receptors to central nervous system. Okay. These are unipolar and conduct impulse towards the central nervous system. And next is the interneurons or associative, intermediate, relay, or interneurons. You can say them so. These conduct message from sensory neurons to motor neurons. Like it read the message from the brain and then send them towards the motor neurons. Send the message towards the motor neurons. So you can say that the motor neurons are efferent neurons, right? These were the afferent neurons, sensory, and motor are the efferent, like exit. They are sending message towards the effectors. These are the motor neurons that receives the impulse from the interneurons and send message towards the motor neurons that are responsible to perform a specific response with the help of effectors. So these are the types of the neurons. Any confusion here?
No.
If yes, please tell me.
No, ma'am.
Okay, here our topic gets end.